mix together.
Yeah.
So physical activity. So after we moved in together, more going to the gym.
Yeah, we moved in together. I was always active with the gym, and you were too.
I do know a lot of couples that go to the gym together.
But then we kind of started working out together even more.
Yeah.
And,
which is cool.
And that was a good routine.
Yeah, still doing it to this day. But that's an adventure and something that I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm assuming it just makes you feel better that I'm in the gym with you.
Yeah.
So
I think that's so important as a couple too, is to bring your partner with you when you're trying new things, because something that I hear all the time from, I don't want to say all the time, but you know, just from, I want to say like the mass media, is that when you don't include your partner in things, I mean, that's how you guys grow apart. And it's okay to not always be growing together in certain areas, because there's still hobbies that you have to have for yourself. But I think that a lot of the things, like when you go through it together, it's just more fun. Like it's just more enjoyable, and it's just like you get to learn each other's perspectives. Or sometimes we do things and you're like, oh, well, you see a totally different side of it and I see a totally different side of it. Or you guys know I'm Latina, and like one of my favorite things too in hobbies was that you would always like be proactive about like learning about my culture, my cultura. Like you would always be like, oh, let's go to new restaurants, let's go to new spots. Like that was our favorite thing to do at the beginning.
Still do to this day.
Was finding new like Latin American foods. Like we would be eating Puerto Rican food, Mexican food.
We tried like
comida
5 new
colombiana,
restaurants.
comida.
We was in Mexico.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
We tried at least 3 to 5 new spots when we was in Mexico, at least when we was down there. So that's another big thing is trying new foods together. Like I know people that don't even like trying new food. Like I would never want to be around them if you don't like trying new food. Like
and even learning a whole new language. Like I just realized that like you knew Spanish a little bit before you met me. But I think when we started dating, like you made a bigger effort to learn Spanish, and that was cool because we got to learn something, and you got to learn a little bit more about my culture, and you started to learn even like the famous artists and like the movies and you know the novelas, like you know if you guys are Latinas, but
even moving here, like we done been to museums, we done been to that Halloween showcase was so fire. Like that was so dope.
And one thing that I do want to start doing through the podcast more too is, again, just address my Latino or my Latinx community, because I think that we do get a lot of Latinos or Latinas that follow us because they're so interested by our relationship. But I think that that's honestly been like the biggest thing that I loved about a relationship ever since we like, you know, started dating, is that like you're always making an effort to get to know more about my culture, or even me about like your past, or like, you know, just your growing up. Like we're always making an effort to not run away from it, but get to learn from it.
Yeah. Which is easy to do because I like new stuff anyway. So
yeah. And then we already talked a little bit about like fitness and wellness, but like what else do you think like
let's talk about the stuff that we picked up, especially in fitness. So we got the gym phase, the riding bike phase.
Matt, I need your help growing my social media audience.
All right, guys, if you need help growing your social media audience, make sure you text 602-390-7002. Once again, it's 602-390-7002. And then since we moved to Arizona, which I knew this was going to happen, we was going to be able to be outside all the time. So we started picking up basketball, tennis, playing different sports as a couple.
Yeah, that was fun. I want to say that was something that I was very, very open-minded to, porque growing up, but I would always see my dad like, you know, playing soccer or, you know, playing basketball. But, you know, like girls, we don't want to get into sports. And I think that was like super, super fun to me because I was really just more open-minded. And then we started playing basketball together.
And then they shut down the basketball court. Remember that when they shut down? But I understand why they shut down the basketball court. But anyway. And then as soon as we moved from Phoenix to Fountain Hills, that's when we, even before, well, kind of like after the golf thing took off, again, going back to trying new restaurants and stuff, like axe throwing, that was cool.
Oh, axe throwing was really, really fun.
Yeah, we gotta do that again.
We've done a lot of things. Like I think, like I said, just one thing that has helped us is always trying new things. Like, just never get stuck in the same routines. Oh, we just started roller skating. Roller skating is so much fun. I'm actually kind of salty that I didn't learn about it when I was younger.
We just now did it as a couple.
Yeah.
So that's what made it super cool. But again,